Hey everybody, how's it all going? So, you may be aware that yours truly has been on the most enormous tilt at the moment, right? So I did this 3-day fast, which meant that I was in a reasonable mood, but my brain just wasn't as powered as it would have been if I'd had plenty of food and plenty of energy going around my bloodstream. So I found myself wanting to play chess and playing some games, but losing kind of 2 out of 3, right? So I dropped from 1591 to 1420 in the space of about 4 days. Insane. And it got me thinking about these massive tilts and these massive losing streaks that can really, it can hurt, right? And it can dent your confidence if rating matters to you. And I know rating matters to a lot of us. It's the way that we keep score with our progress. And it feels like if your rating takes a beating, then it feels like your chess has taken a beating, and in a way it has. So it's had me thinking about that, and I've chatted to James about that recently, who's one of the coaches on Chess Bootcamp Live, and also Christina, who's one of the coaches on Chess Bootcamp Live. And James recommends just getting into the right mindset and meditating before a game. He's got a video on that, and Christina has given her thoughts as well, like watching a speedrun video, for example, just making sure that you're in the mindset. So I thought I would do like a match night or pre-battle checklist with the help of the Pawn of War. Okay, so if rating matters, okay, now I've been saying to myself, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm going to slide down. I'm going to slide down into the 1400s. At some point, it'll pick back up, and I'll find myself faced with lower-rated opponents that I ought to be able to beat. And here's the weird thing, right? I did a lesson yesterday, and we took on a 1700 rated bot, and my student was in the, I think, 1200 to 1300 range, and we actually joined it mid-game because he already had that game running. And the chess we played in that game, working together, was 1800 level chess. It was brilliant. And so I know that when you really take your time, any of us can be. So here's the thing. So your rating as it is right now is the sum total of all your performance to date, okay, in chess. But if you're rated, say, 1000, it doesn't mean that is your level. It means that is your average performance, because your performance goes on a bell curve, right? Sometimes you can suck, right? And it's suck to be you. And if anybody gets that musical theatre reference, you get a gold star, okay? And sometimes you can play out of your skin and play really, really well. Yesterday, when I was going very slow and talking through it with a student, we were playing awesome chess, and I was amazed. But yet, when I was playing around on chess.com, I sucked, right? So the trick is, when you are in the bottom half of your bell curve, don't play. Stop it. Go do something else, right? Go on to Chess24, go on to Lee Chess, right? Play anything, go into Chess Kid, go do anything. Anyway, so how do we know if we are in the bottom half or the top half of our bell curve, right? If you're playing the top half of your bell curve, you're going to beat people typically who are rated around your level or below, and sometimes people who are above. Because here's the thing as well. We all have bad days, and we all have bad games, and we all have bad decisions, right? Something goes off, and somebody's distracted, they make a bad move, and they lose the game. So there's always a chance to beat somebody. So somebody's 200 points high rated, and you think, I can't beat this guy. Well, you can. You absolutely can. And that's why chess.com says, if you beat this guy, you get 14 points, right? And if you lose 2 points, because it thinks you have a chance of winning. It thinks that person's 7 times more likely to win than you are. You've got that 1 in 8. So go for it. Okay. So anyway, before you go into battle, let's try this. I'm going to try this method, right? Number 1, am I awake? Obvious. Am I rested? So last night, we were up late because we had the very first historic inaugural Chess Bootcamp live session. Now, it happened to be Craig's session, so this was the advanced group, which currently, because people are still piling in, we're having it from 1250 upwards. Eventually, we might do like 1500 to 1800, which will be Craig's band, okay? And we did, it was really awesome, we did endgame fundamentals. So things about opposition, distant opposition, shouldering, and some other really, really cool stuff that I've kind of brushed on, over the years. But there's something about the live lesson. I don't know. It had my attention. It went on for about 90 minutes. Had my attention from start to finish because it was live. Because if I looked away, I would miss it. Right? Very different to a YouTube video that you just press the space bar and I'll, go off, put the kettle on or whatever. So yeah, it definitely sank in, and I was feeling excited at the end of the lesson to get into some end games with some punks and sort them out. Anyway, so number one, am I awake? If you're not awake, it's not the end of the world. You can still play chess. Just don't play rated chess, okay? Am I rested? So yeah, like I was saying last night, I was up late, did that, and then got into bed. I've had a really good sleep. When you wake up in the morning, you feel like, oof, I feel like I was hit by a train. I've had a good sleep like that. So my feeling is that I feel calm. Right? Calm is very, very important for chess because you have to be able to sit and look dispassionately at the board and go, I'm not going to rush this. I'm going to get my evil on. Okay? Am I hungry? Don't play when you're hungry or thirsty. If you need the loo, do that first, right? However, do I have any stresses? Right? Am I worried? Am I anxious? Don't play chess. Don't play rated chess if you're anxious, right? Am I chasing losses? Super important, right? If you're on a losing streak, stop it. I don't mean stop losing and start winning, right? You're probably in the lower half of your performance curve. So pack that shit in, stop throwing away rating points. Come back when you're stronger, right? This is so important. Look, if you could say, like, at all times, I'm going to be in the top 50% of my performance curve, you're away. You're just going to keep climbing. You're going to keep getting better. So just stop. This is about learning to spot when you're in the bottom half, right? So that you stop. This is a really important one, I think, for me. Before I sit down, before I hit the play button, am I determined to win at all costs? Do I treat this game like a life or death game, right? Doesn't matter what comes through that gate, to quote Gandalf, you are soldiers of Gondor, you will stand your ground, yeah? Am I determined to win at all costs, right? Does this game matter, right? Or am I just dicking about? If you're dicking about, go and dick about somewhere else. And I like this thought, right? Am I going to aim to win this game with less than 25% of my time still on the clock? So, if you're playing a 10-minute game, is it your full intention to finish this game in with 2.5 minutes left or less, right? Am I determined to use my time, right? And use the time that is given to me, because I tell you what, there's quite a good chance that your opponent will be blitzing out moves, right? I've been doing this, right? When I've been on this losing streak, I've had games, I played 90 games in a day, 90, right? And I sucked. So I was practicing sucking, right? Which I don't need to do, right? It's ridiculous. Playing 90 games in a day, and what's happening, and these aren't blitz games, these are 10-minute rapids. Right? There isn't even enough time in a day to do that. And that's why, because I was losing them in a minute or 2 minutes. Right? I'm losing them, I've got 8 minutes left on the clock and I'm losing. Ridiculous, utterly ridiculous. So, if all of those things are true, then you can give the signal, right? And the pawn of war will be on your side. So that's it. So let's try it. Okay. Now here's my last tip for you. So I've got rid of that, and we have gone over to Lichess, right? So what I'm going to do on Lee Chess is I'm going to say, let's do a 10-minute rapid game. And here we go, right? What's my rating on Lee Chess? 1780. Okay. And the clock has started. Right? Now, this is where I'm not playing as much my opponent, I'm playing against myself here. I'm seeing, what am I doing here, right? Yes, I know those first few moves, right? That's why they came out quick. Now, I have a slight lead in development. I have my queen out, right? So, am I talking to myself as I play? That's a good sign for me. He's blocked off his bishop here. That's curious. So is he intending to castle that way or that way? I think knight develop makes sense. E5 looks reasonable. E5 releases my bishop. Okay, so that, in a way, right, you could argue that if you move your central pawns like that, you've semi-developed your bishops. Right? It doesn't work the same with knights. Okay, but this bishop could, still play a part in the game, right? Because they're long-range pieces. Somebody puts a knight there, your bishop can go pang, pow, I'm having that knight. Okay, so he's brought out his queen. I'm going to develop instead of retreating. Much better idea. And there you go. And now I'm still ahead in development, right? And I am noticing that when I'm talking to you, dear viewer, I'm talking in a calm voice, right? So, looks like he might be going long. If he goes long, pang, pow, that's going to be undeveloped. So I'm thinking, that looks like a good idea. And then I might develop my knight, and then I've got options myself of castling either way. He doesn't have options. White does not have options here. Okay, and we are being calm. You see that? Calmness. Good. He's noticed his undefended pawn, and he's moved his bishop. He's now moved his bishop twice in 2 moves, and he's behind in development. Now, if I take, pawn will take, and he's going to end up with a 5 and a 2 against my 4 and a 3. Right? That's just imbalanced pawns. There's no real benefit or detriment to that. Alternatively, I could drop my bishop back. Then if he wants to take, I take with the A pawn, give myself a semi-open file, and he's going to be thinking twice about castling in that direction. Alternatively, again, when you find a good move, this is a sign that you are a balanced and calm Zen chess player, right? How about this idea? Right? Develop and defend the bishop. Then if he takes, it's going to be 2-0. I'm going to have 2 pieces on the board. He's going to have zip. Oh. Now, is he about to do this? If he does that, he's definitely weakening his pawns. Plus, I get the option of playing this and attacking his rook. Then he might trade off in the middle. I don't know. But, so, interesting. And look at this guy, right? He's used 52 seconds. I've used 3 minutes. That's better, right? I've used 3 minutes, but I'm in a better position. That's a good sign. He's got everything on the king side's undeveloped, right? He's made pawn moves. He's made multiple piece moves. That bishop's protected. I don't have to worry about this move at all. I can just drop back. I can exchange if I want to. Why don't I go ahead and castle my king? And now we have completed development. Move 10, we've completed development. And my opponent, because he's a muppet, has blundered a bishop. All right, rated 1791 on Lee Chess, which is about 791 in real money. I'd like to see if there's actually some kind of record of the distribution of ratings on Lee Chess, because it seems to me these guys playing around the 1800 level are more like 1400 in chess.com money. Okay, this pawn's hanging. Well, it's not hanging, it's undefended. This pawn's undefended. So, again, rule number 1, chill. If I drop my bishop back here, he can't castle that way because I'm blocking that square. Yeah? Likewise, if I drop my bishop back here, he can't castle that way. Now, looking at the board, what's undefended? That's defended. Yeah, the knight's undefended. So's the bishop, but they can take care of themselves. These 2 pawns, well, actually that one is defended. So this pawn here on c7 is undefended. So I'm kind of thinking, drop the bishop back. Yeah, I can't take it to here because, well, maybe we trade knights, I don't know. So next job, let's put the cherry on the cake and centralize the rooks. And this is when you need to get into this mindset of saying, I'm just going to enjoy the process of dismantling my opponent piece by piece. Okay, now he's castled. But I have to say, I don't like his setup too well. I'd love to get my knight in there and get rid of this bishop. Actually, that bishop's quite bad because of these light square pawns. It can't actually get out, but it could. Half a mind to drop my bishop back into there. What if I drop my bishop here, removing this square, and then did that? Hang on. If I drop my bishop back into here and he pushes that, trapping my bishop, I can't then drop my bishop in here because then he comes in with his king and does it. You see? Now if I've been too anxious and too quick to try and grab points, I would have missed that idea. But I think I might drop my bishop in there just anyway. Comes with check. It's forcing. I know I've just moved it another time, but since then he's declared his intentions. He's gone long, right? So now my thought is, Andy, Barry, Charlie, attack. At my signal, unleash hell. Right? I don't need to think overly much right now. I'm going to attack your knight. Am I going to attack your knight? He's always attacking my bishop, okay? See? You can miss that stuff. That's fine. I'm going to defend it. I'm a minor piece up. Trades, trades, trades all the way, my son. Trades. It's good to have a trade. Yeah, I've got knights ready to come in. But first of all, I'm just going to send a wall of pawns. A pawn army. Like a tsunami, but of pawns. And an army of pawns, obviously. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Not sure what he's doing there. That looks absolutely fine to me. Again, you're welcome to have the bishop. I will trade all day long. And this is just our warm-up, right? This is me getting a feel for how's my evil doing. Look at these rooks. Nothing. I'm going to do that. I don't care. I'm blocking you off. This rook can go to one other square and back again. That's all you've got. You've got nothing, mate. Right? This rook has a choice of 3 squares. Woo! Whoop-dee-doo. But I'm not going to get overexcited. Getting excited is a bad thing. Now, is he thinking about trapping my bishop? But you can't because I just take. So, I think you're running out of ideas. So, what's not playing a part in this? I think the king's rook. So, where shall we put you? Doesn't really matter. But I'm down to 3 minutes, so this is time now to convert my win. I said I was going to finish with a quarter of my time on the clock, and by golly I am. Okay, if I push and push, not sure. If I push, then this pawn is blocked, and then push. Let's do that. See? Big difference. And quietly evil. Yes, bruv, all day long. Pawn takes, really? Oh no, okay. Right, my mistake. I've just removed the defender of my own bishop, and now I'm a pawn up, actually. So this pawn is defended only by the knight, so I'm going to... Oh, hang on. Now I'm going to bust things open around the king, aren't I? That's exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, I want my knight there. It's not going to happen. Let's keep busting things open. Didn't sanity check, did I? But this is the point. Everyone has their dumbass moments. And I've been exceedingly rich in dumbass moments recently. Now he's got loads of time on the clock, but he's still actually behind. This rook is playing no part in the game. Both of my rooks are. Okay, let's throw in a check. That's the sanity. You see that pause? That's what I didn't do. Because I'm a Muppet. I'm a grand Muppet. You've got normal Muppets. What's an IM? NM. If NM is a normal Muppet, I'm going to defend this. I'm going to come in now with my knight. Don't think so, bruv. Don't think so. So now he's got only a light square bishop. So I want to put everything on dark squares, yeah? You can go on a dark square. He's bottled it. Now I've got a rook on this file, yeah? So this king now is not going to join in the fun. My king can come, say, to here, somewhere like that. Okay, I'm going to bring the king up. He might be thinking about this. Did think about blocking it off with a rook. Defend the pawn. 4 and 1. I've got a pawn advantage. This is my main advantage, but I think that's a free pawn, is it not? If he recaptures, rook takes, yeah? Sanity check. Looks all right. Calmness wins the day, every time. My knight can go there, any point. So if the king goes here, for example, I might have forking ideas. Still looking at that. It's defended twice, though. Do you prefer the arrows on chess.com or the arrows on Lichess? That's an interesting one. I do not know. Right, I think I'm going to come back here. He can drop his bishop in there, but he loses it, so that would make him a grade A fool. How about this as well? This puts, again, another attacker on that, and the pawn is then pinned. Do I do colours on here? Oh yeah. They're kind of faint, though. They're very muted colours. Chess.com's colours are a bit more exciting. Now I'm down to 2 minutes, which is exactly where I wanted to be. Okay. Pawns on light squares is fine. Pieces on dark squares. It's very important. Pawns on light squares. The rook can't attack me. Pawns on light squares. Okay. Question is how... Oh, he hung a pawn. Did you see that? Quickest moves you play, worst moves you play. 'Twas ever thus. He's hung a pawn. I'm not even sure he's noticed that. So he should play his rook to here to defend both pawns, and he hasn't, because he's rushing, because he hasn't watched my video. Well, of course he hasn't watched the video, because it's not out yet. Ridiculous. And I think that just drops a pawn, do you not? See? 1791 on Lichess. Lichess, mate, it's not worth the paper it's printed on. Okay, this is nice square, because it's defended by a pawn and hits the rook back. Okay, now I come onto a dark square. You can come here if you want, I don't care. Got a minute 32, plenty of time. I've got 4 pawns, blood. You haven't got nothing. Nothing. If you want to stop off your bishop, be my guest. Oh my lordy. Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh, lordy, lordy. 1 minute 24. Plenty of time. Plenty of time. Got all the time in the world. That drops a pawn. That was a silly move. That was a silly move, but it doesn't matter. It is all in vain. And if you ever catch yourself, I was about to say it's almost impossible to lose now. Don't do that shit. The minute you start going, it's almost impossible to lose, you start losing. Okay, just drop back. Got minute 9. That's heaps of time. I would have to blunder, like a big blunder now, right? The king cannot get in. The king is now locked out here. I've got a minute 5, and I've got plenty. I've got time to talk to you. Right, minute 5. I don't care. I'm going to defend it. You waiting for a blunder that ain't going to come? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My king's coming here, whatever happens. His king is locked in a 4 by 5 square, right? I can even pre-move this. The rook dies, it's all over, he's going to lose, you might as well resign. You've had 3 minutes that you haven't used because you've not been watching my videos or developing your own discipline. Feel the hate flow through you. 55 seconds. I think we can all agree it's possible to convert in 55 seconds. And he's resigned. And that puts me up to, what, 1792 on that. So, I thought that went quite well. Let's do it for real. Okay, wants me to refresh the page. Right, 1423. Come on, and we have another Scandi. It was a Scandi last time, wasn't it? Now, this is the important thing. You see? Isn't this the exact same opening? Hey, maybe it's the same dude. I don't know. Okay, the move here is e5. He should play this. I play this. Just because I've learned a little bit of theory and trained it on Chessable. Didn't we have this in the last game? Now I have a pin which he breaks easily with development, so I think that looks okay. I'm still always like to castle when the d pawn's gone. I love to castle long, you know. Stick the bishop just there. This bishop might like to be here or here, one of these squares. Okay, well you've hit my queen, I get it. If I come here, he just blocks with the bishop. I might drop back there, hit this pawn. He's starting a pawn storm at this side, so I'm going to retain the option to castle short if he starts to throw pawns up this way. (905). Good. It's about right. Oh really, O'Reilly? Do you? Indeed. I could put my bishop there if I really want to save it. If I let him take it, I recapture with the knight, and that's no bad thing. It's no hardship. Bishop here, force the issue. It doesn't really force the issue because the knight's defended. So bishop here. Is he going to start pushing pawns in the middle? Bishop here, hit the king. No. Here. Just line it up with that corner. Either of these would have been fine. This is good. And now we've got an option, you see. I've got queen takes. I've also got this. I'm going to take with that pawn because I'm not sure he's going to want to castle kingside now. And he's already messed up his pawns on this side, so good to talk to yourself when you're playing chess. Sanity check. Looks absolutely natural. Is. Hit the bishop with tempo. What are you even playing at? Right, and now I'm definitely castling this way. And I just need to fend off these pawns. I have no light squared bishop. I think I'm going to centralize my knight, constrain that pawn, annoy that bishop, knight in the center, knight in my opponent's half of the board. Always good. Right. If I hit you here, you can come there. Then I might put my rook here I like that. There's nothing wrong with that. This queen never moves as well. Oh, you can have that. I'm quite happy for you to have that. Okay. He hates that knight, obviously. For good reason. It's a damn good knight. Okay, so is he about to lose his bishop? If he is, I might think about this ideas. Or shall I just castle now? I think castle now. Activate my rook. The priority is activating your stuff. I like this pawn now. It's constraining this one, which really makes this one not so good. Okay, I see your mind. I'm thinking c6. Queen defends that. King also defends it, and it blocks the bishop. Yeah, opposite coloured bishop thing. Now, one of the things I learned off Craig's lesson, his session last night, was if you have kings, some pawns, and opposite coloured bishops, with accurate play, it's nearly always a draw. I did not know that. Okay, but now I know it. So now I've got to be aware that if I want to win this game, I don't want to end up with kings, bishops, and opposite coloured bishops and just pawns. So what we're going to do now? Just feel like my queen wants to come in here. He's going to do this. He's just blocking everything off. I might want to push this pawn. I don't know. I'm not scared. You will be. You will be. That was Yoda, wasn't it? You will be, yes. Problem for white. Okay? With that move, here comes the tactic, right? You always have to say to yourself, what just happened? Well, what just happened is, see this pawn here, defended by the rook. See this pawn here, no longer defended by the rook. It's still defended though, absolutely fine, but it's defended by the king. And the problem is that when you're a king and you get attacked, it's called check. And the king can't take, right? So in theory, even before, now I could have, so that means the king has to move, right? Now before, with the rook there, he could have ignored that, because there's no check, right? Could have pushed his pawn, trapped my bishop, yeah? But now, oh dear. Oh dearie, dearie me. Now he might push this. Or that. Takes, pawn takes, me. I'm going to ignore it all. In fact, even takes, pawn pushes. And he's got his own pawn on this absolutely essential diagonal. Okay? And he can't checkmate me with his queen, because my queen just takes it. Yeah? Pawn takes, and it's still there, still a human shield, right? But now I'm going to do this. Okay, you've done that. Right, what does that mean? Well, that means a free pawn, I think. And all he's got that can attack that is major pieces, right? Now, if he's got any sense, he's going to put one of his major pieces on this file. Now, what I will then do is probably just dodge out the way to unpin this pawn. See? And now I'm going to do this. No, it still doesn't work, mate. It still doesn't work. Queen here. Oh, hang on. Queen here, queen takes, pawn takes, rook takes, bishop takes, king takes. Everything's off the board. Queen takes. I'm just thinking, do I need to move the rook back actually? Queen takes, bishop takes, king there is much better. Okay, I'm going to attack the bishop now. Yeah, that's fine. I think that's fine. I've got just under 5 minutes and I just skipped on my calculation a little bit there. Okay, now. Thinking rook back. If pawn takes, rook takes. This is a hairy moment, but I need to just make sure that I maintain my decorum and discipline. Pawn takes, I've got bishop takes actually. That's fine. It's like a spare pawn that can take backwards. Unlike any pawn you've ever known. Boom! You're not having that. You can get out of it. I might even just push up here and just create an attack of my own. So this bishop is now a tall pawn, but it can... Haha! Did you even see that? I'm not even sure you saw that. I might even do this. Okay. I'm now up and exchanging the pawn. I'm thinking pawn takes is my first thought. He can check me. I can move away. I just come here and I stay here, and the rook's got nothing. And that pawn now, you see, that pawn is critical. No, doesn't work. And I've got a queen, and you haven't, and I've got 4 minutes on my clock. 4 minutes. I'm going to run rings around you, but I'm not going to do it in a silly way. I'm going to be calm. I'm just going to push my stuff up. Because he's got nothing, actually. His bishop is neutered. His rook cannot even check my king. What's that about? What's that? What's that? There's nothing there. You want to come here? Fine. My king can just sit pretty. Right? Now I can't take that because he's got this. I mean, it's still winning, actually. So I'm just going to push that. You're attacking my queen, eh? I still actually win. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let's trade off. Yeah? Right, now he's got to defend that pawn with his life, which means the bishop coming here. Okay, all there. That's fine. So all I need to do now is convert this little pawn here. See? Very easy. And if you were on Craig's call last night, you will know that the king has to be in front of the pawn. Very, very important. And that's a complete mistake. He had to come in this direction because now, okay, so his bishop's got one chance, I think, from here to take out my pawn. But then he's going to lose his bishop. Right, his bishop now has to move there. He's got two attempts. But then if I take that, his bishop has to... Okay, now he has to go here. And he's failed to do it. Okay, hang on. Good thought. Right, now, again, something from last night's session. Right, now his bishop cannot cover this square, right? 1, 2, loses it, right? 1, 2, oh, maybe. So if I go 1, 2, 3. So I've got 3 jumps. So this is something that Craig taught us. Very simple thing. 3, 1, 2, 3, I convert and I win, okay? How long is it going to take him? 1, 2, king moves out the way, 3, 4, okay? The very least. Another option I've got is move the rook, 1, take, 2, 3, and no, this should be fine. I've got 2 minutes left. Let's just put this to bed and happily take our 7 rating points. You see, you play 1 game every day, you win 7 rating points every day. Up goes the rating. Okay, I go here, you take my rook, I get a queen. And now you can safely resign, I do believe, because if he goes here, I've got a check. Oh. Interesting. This is interesting. All right. So I need to get another pawn on the board, another queen. He's going to get a queen. Okay, game on. Didn't see that. I thought if I get a queen, I've won. Actually, I have this. That's quite nice. Okay, that's a check. I'm going to grab this pawn. He's got check with the bishop. Yeah. I still think I'm in fairly good shape. I'm going to keep the king on the dark square. Queen can't go there because pawn takes. Queen goes here. You might win the pawn, yeah? Okay, you win the pawn. Oh! I still think king and two pawns against the king and a bishop should be good. Alright. That's discovered defense of the pawn. I can always go here if you go... No, I take him if he comes there. Alright, and let's put the pressure on again. Is that Catalonia? Catalonia, yeah. Okay. You do this. Also looking for kind of checks. I think he's almost out of checks. He's got that. And any time I can block with a pawn, always good as well, but that's going to be difficult. So I've taken my eye off the ball a little bit in this ending. But I'm still relaxed. And I'm threatening his queen. If he does something stupid like this, he just loses. I've still got a minute. A minute's plenty of time, guys. Now he's using his time well. See here, he had on move 45, he had a minute think, and that was good use of time. He played his first 5 moves very quickly. Then he had to think a lot more in the middle game. Then he had that 1 minute think, probably came up with his plan and doing his own counting. I think I just rushed it a little bit with, you know, charging to the finish with that pawn. But he's down to 245. And I know he's the less experienced player, okay. I'm going to do this, I think. He's got 2 attackers, 2 defenders. Okay. No checks, I'm going to do that. Hang on, if I go here and he goes here, how do I block? I need to save the queen. Oh, in fact, he can't take. However he takes, yeah, I take that back with the pawn. And what's he got now? I think this might look drawish now, you know? Right, if ever he doesn't give check. Okay, here. Goes here, I go there, queen. And it's going to be a draw. Surely. That's a draw. So there you go. Draw by insufficient material. Okay, all's fair when the dust settled. Okay, so I'm not going to analyse that. The point of this video was to do with mood and mental preparedness, and I think we've shown that. Yes, I didn't get the result I wanted in the actual game, but I didn't lose too much either. I lost 1 rating point, but that's absolutely fine. My opponent played well, so kudos to you, and it was good sport. Can't say fairer than that. Okay guys, thanks for watching everyone. Oh, and tonight, if you are part of Chess Bootcamp Live. I'm incredibly excited because it's my first live session, and it's going to be very different to Craig's session, which had a lot of learning in it. But in my session, this is going to be literally a live bot battle, and I personally cannot wait. I was like dreaming about this in my sleep last night. So if you want to, then all you have to do, let me show you what to do. Chessbootcamp.club. Let's go on to chessbootcamp.club, and you can still sign in with the get a discount. So it's $49 a month, and we're doing 5 sessions a week. That's 20 sessions. So what you have to do is you have to go to here and put CBC friend, and you get it even $39 a month, which is, ridiculous. Okay, so yeah, CBC friend. So go along, join it if you can. If you join in the next, 8 p.m, so it's like 10.5 hours, something like that, 9.5 hours, then you can come along to my first session. It's going to be a whole heap of fun. All right, see everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.